Welcome guys, I'm going to teach you exactly how I gained 2 years of experience, 2 years of trading experience in 4 months. More accurately, 2 months. So, I am not sponsored, and I wish I was, because I'm going to sing the praises of this site. It's called FX Replay, and it's a back testing website that I started using, as you can see, in August. And I've just actually been using it for 2 months, and so basically I haven't even gained 2 years experience in 4 months, technically 2 months. But I did learn a lot of my strategy within the first 2 months of learning how to really trade, and then the last 2 months was mostly back testing. So this website is actually phenomenal for gaining experience really fast. So right now, these are my stats. I have, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. They're trying to upsell me, but don't look at that. Anyways, right now I've invested 5 days worth of time, actually almost 6 days worth of time on this site, although that is over days, weeks, and obviously 2 months. So I'm not back testing every single day 24 hours. No, that's not the case. The time I've invested adds up to 5 days, technically almost 6 days. I have back tested 2 years worth of data within that time. I've taken 195 trades, and my win rate right now, this is probably going to change because my stats just recently improved, but I've only back tested maybe like 3-4-ish months of data, and this was like a day or two ago. So majority of this, like I think August and September, is why my win rate's so low. But going into October, I'm going to be looking for this to increase. And as you can see the time I invested. So July I invested 11 hours, August I invested 45 hours, and September I invested, I spent a lot of time in this. In September I spent 84 hours in FX Replay. So I think what I'm going to do for this video is I'm just going to go through and show you what these back testing sessions look like and what my previous sessions have looked like. So if we go over here, this is where your sessions are. You can have multiple different sessions. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 back testing sessions. Ignore the names. Some of them are very random. This is the one I'm working on right now. I started in January, and I have it all the way up until October. Right now, I've made $2,000, nearly $3,000. I think I did make $3,000, but I had some losses. But right now, I'm up nearly $300. So what's really cool about this is that it gives you a lot of very useful analytics that can tell you about how you're performing. So my goal since using this is to have a very smooth equity curve that goes up gradually. Sorry, excuse me. My win rate right now on this session is 57%, which is exactly what I'm looking to do. I want basically a 50% win rate or better. That is my goal. So right now I'm achieving that, and as of right now I've traded 4 months on this account, on this session I should say. So that's what this is looking at. But there's a really cool feature that if you go over here and click analytics, you can go and click sections, and it will give you a lot more in-depth information about how you're performing. So as I said before, I made $2,768 on this session. I'm up that amount. My win rate is 57.14%, exactly where I want to be. I have taken a total of 15 trades in this session between 4 months, and I have 1 break-even trade. So, and then it also tells you your win to losses. I have 8 wins, 6 losses in this session, and I don't really pay attention to this information up here, but you guys can see it. Maybe it's useful for you. You can see how many total trades. I don't really know what this is trying to tell me. It's not really giving me anything useful. And yeah, but what I find most useful is this area. So on January, I made 1%, nearly 1.5%. In February, I made 3%. I had a red month in March, and then I'm up right now in April. So I'm trading the year 2020. And as you can see, this is actually one of my most favorite features of FX Replay. And I know prop firms also have a similar calendar format where it tells you your losses and wins per day. But so far in January of 2020, I had one $500 loss, risking 1%. Then I took 2 trades on this day. Maybe one was a loss, maybe the next one was a win. Then I had a loss, and then I had 3 wins. That was in January. Then in February, this was my 3% month. I took 3 trades. I had 3 wins, really sizable, and then my losses were relatively smaller. This was 1%. I actually remember when I took this loss. This trade was set up really good to be a buy trade or a bullish trade, but then the market like plummeted on me, and it was just a really unexpected. And then going into February, I took 1 trade. Oh, sorry, not February. Going into March, I took 1 trade in March, and it was just awful. March was basically just plummeting, and I didn't really know where it was trying to aim for. So I kind of just waited it out until price action got a little bit more clear again, and I was wondering why was March plummeting, only for me to remember, oh, this was like the height of COVID. So I decided not to trade. I only took 1 loss, and I was like, yeah, nuh-uh, I'm not gonna take any more loss. I wasn't willing to risk my capital in March. Then in April, I took 1 trade so far, and this is after 2 weeks into April. But I made $600, so that's like 1% right now. So I'm trying to at least make 3 to 6% a month or more, because I want to be in the 6% threshold for prop firms or 10% for prop firms. But ideally, after I get the prop accounts, my goal will be 1 to 3% per month. 3% is actually a really good month. I would like to aim for 3% per month. If I can do better, that's amazing. But 3% is just that nice sweet spot for me personally. So that's like, this is my most recent session. It's going pretty good, but my other sessions are not very good. So in this session, it's called I don't know. As you can see, my equity curve is very low. We're just gonna go straight over to analytics, and I'm gonna show you. So right now, I guess I'm at like a 40% win rate. I took 2 wins and 3 losses. Didn't really do much with this one, I guess. So in November, I took 2 wins, 1 sizable win, and then a couple small losses and another loss. So not much information on this one. So let's go to the next one. So my goal was 12%, I guess from November to December. And let's go to the session analytics. So I made nearly $3,000 on this account. My win rate is very, very low, as you can see, which is not ideal. My equity curve is all over the place, which again is not ideal. That's not what I'm looking to do. I had 5 wins and 9 losses. I mean, if your R&R is big, I guess you can have less wins and more losses, but like for psychology reasons, I don't really want a all over the place equity curve. I'd rather something that's smooth and gradual and goes up over time. I don't really want to see like crazy fluctuations in my equity curve. So I can show you. So I took a lot of losses in November, but I guess because I took some sizable wins, I was able to make a profit. I remember when I was doing this one, I would lose a trade and then I would set another trade thinking that that one would work out, and then I'd lose again. So realistically speaking, or in my case anyways, when I waited for that second trade to show up, I was literally waiting for signs for it to go out. I thought maybe I was just in too early, but that was not the case. And I wasn't chasing price. That was not what I was doing. But I just had the direction wrong. So sometimes when you take a loss, it's probably better to just not do anything. But if you're really confident on the drawn liquidity, then you can get back in. But I don't know, getting back in is kind of really a slippery slope. And I would say it just comes with experience and the circumstances that you're seeing in price that would make you want to get back into the market in terms of setting another trade. But these very sizable wins is what saved me. So, and I had a couple break evens, which I think some of these break evens actually did end up going to my TP. But I guess, it's just a price to pay if moving your stop to break even sometimes. And then had some wins, had some losses. So that's that one. Am up technically on that. As you can see, this one, my equity curve is all over the place. If we go to session analytics, you can see my equity curve is all over the place, and I have a 26% win rate, which is seriously unideal. This, I'm not gonna lie, my confidence or my psychology or mental capital, whatever you want to call it, really got hit very hard during this session. So I had 5 winners and 14 losses, and that was not good. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, I have some wins in there. You know what I mean? I have some wins in there, but they were way smaller than my losers. And yeah, this was not good. So, you know, when you get to this point, you're just like, okay, something's clearly got to change. And it's these moments where you're like, okay, something is clearly not working. There are things that are working and there's things that are not working. So, you know, at these moments when I recognize these things, I realize that I need to make a change in my trading. And for me, it's not really a psychological problem, and it's not really a risk management problem. I'm very good at risk management, and I have a very solid psychology. And if you guys watch my other videos, there might be moments in my trading where you think I might be emotional, but I've traded so much, even if it's not the live markets. Like, how I act in live is not very much different from how I act in backtesting. I'm very calm with my decision making. Yeah, I might be like, oh, price needs to go there, and oh my, you can do it, and I might seem emotional, but all my decisions I make are made on sound logic. At the end of the day, if I make money in my trade, then that's all that matters. You know what I mean? And I set my stop loss, and if it hits my stop loss, that's that. If it doesn't, then I manage the trade however I see fit. I've literally taken 195 trades. I basically know what I'm doing. I think this is the one we just went over, right? And then here. So as you can see, so this is the weird thing. As you can see, even through all my sessions, I'm always in the green. I'm always in the green. And my equity curve is absolutely atrocious. How do you have a negative equity curve, but yet I'm still in the green? I have great risk management, and I have a 31% win rate with a down equity curve. Like, come on. I've taken 50 trades. I'm really great at risk management. So, as you can see, I made 3% in January, 5% in February, negative 1% in March, and 9.91%. That is phenomenal results. I don't know about you, but that is phenomenal. But I'm psychological wise, this is not good whatsoever, right? I took a huge win in January. Lots of losses, but when I do get wins, they're huge. As you can see, this paid for a lot of losers, this paid for a lot of losers, and then this was just bad. But obviously, these are not the results that I want to have, right? The reason why I'm still in the green despite having so many red days, I only had 1 red month, which is really funny. But the fact that I was able to stay in the green despite having red days is just a testament to my risk management, right? You have to have, so I might have weak areas, but I also have strong areas, and risk management is one of my really strong areas. My psychology is pretty fine as long as I can keep a positive equity curve, and my win rate is pretty decent. I just need a 50% win rate or better, to be honest. So that's what I'm looking for. And then this one, crazy equity curve again. 25% win rate, really bad. 11 wins, 32 losses is crazy. Wow. And then I had a lot of red months, but I had a really good January. So, okay, so I think what happened here is that I remember some past sessions, I would get like a really good month, and then the next months I would get red months. And I think I realized that I was, when I get to this point, I'm like, okay, how come I can get a green month in January, but then the next month's a red, right? Again, when you get results like this, clearly something needs to change, right? So when I see results like this, I'm like, okay, clearly I'm not doing something right, and I need to find out what that is. So this is how you use FX replay, right? You find out what is working and what is not based on your results, and then you make an active decision to change it, right? So I had a good month, so I knew I was doing something right, but then I had consistent red months, so I knew, okay, I'm doing something right, sure, but I'm also doing something wrong, and this equity curve is atrocious. So you need to, I can't tell you, I can't tell you guys what you're doing wrong. You have to figure that out for yourself. And that's kind of what I did. Here's again. I had a 42% win rate on this one, took 10 trades, 3 wins, 4 losses. And I had, so I guess this one was for June, and I was up 1.6%. So as you guys can see, even through all of this, I do have green months and I have red months. And this one was really good, but this was like one of the first sessions I traded when I got FX Replay in the beginning, 50% win rate. And I was on top of the world when I was doing this. I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing great. I made, oh my gosh, I made 7% in I made 7% in February. That's friggin' phenomenal. Oh my god. I haven't seen a result like 7% in a while. This is probably the only time I actually made 7% in a month. That's crazy. But I think that's the last session. But yeah, so how you use FX Replay is, trying to figure out what your win rate is, what your equity curve is, and what the kind of results that you want to see. And what are you going to do to get there? If you don't see those results, what do you need to change to get to that point, right? And, it really just depends on the type of trader that you want to be. If you want to have, for example, my goal is 50% win rate, 50% or bigger. So that might mean that I need to have lower R&R. So maybe I might need to only go for 1 to 2 or 1 to 1s. But if you want to have higher R&R, you might have a lower win rate. And maybe you're able to handle those losses psychologically, and your equity curve is not going to look very smooth. It's probably going to look like a staircase. But if you can tolerate then go for those kind of results. I've had red once, so I can kind of handle it, but I would prefer to have a smooth equity curve that consistently goes up over time. So yeah, but that's just how I use FX Replay. I'm not getting sponsored for this, but I can tell you now, every cent spent on FX Replay has been 100% worth it. I do not think I would have I honestly believe that I would not have the experience or be capable of what I'm able to do today if it was not for FX Replay. And all that to say is that you don't need to necessarily use FX Replay to backtest. There are probably other sites you can use, but I do like the analytics that you get. I think it's better than, like, for example, TradingView, because TradingView is not going to give you like what your win rate is, how many trades you've taken, how much data you've traded, and like certain useful data that would be very useful to know if you're going to pursue prop firm challenges and things of that sort. So if they could sponsor me, I would love that. I would totally be down. Maybe in the future when I'm actually a consistently profitable day trader and I'm making bank, maybe I can reach out to them, or maybe they'll reach out to me and they can sponsor me. But I don't regret not 1 cent I spent on this, and in fact I'm actually going to do some back testing sessions today, because I'm trying to get ready for prop firms, and I want to just make sure that my win rate is consistent and that I can do this over a period of months. I'm also trying to get into that 6 to 10% threshold. I know this is not realistic every single month, but from a prop firm standpoint, I definitely need to be able to pull that off at least sometimes. I've been proven to make 6% on months. In fact, on the recent one I did, if we go to, I didn't even show you what the charts look like. Oh my god, I totally forgot. So I didn't even show you guys what the charts look like. So when you go into the charts, you can basically set it up exactly like TradingView, right? And you can just you can do your charting exactly how you would normally do it on whatever platform that you're using. And you can play it so it will move. Like, for example, if I put it on 1 minute and play it, it will start to print, right? So you can set your trades and watch it move if that's what you want to do. You can even just move it yourself, so you can go at the speed that you want it to move. And you can have it depends. I think how many charts you get depends on your subscription, but you can have 2 charts. So I have NASDAQ and S&P. So you can set up just like TradingView or whatever platform that you use. And then if you want to go to your analytics, you can go here. But I think the reason why I wanted to go back to my analytics is to show you that I did have a 6% month. It might not show. This is saying 3%, but I did, oh no, I didn't have a 6% month, but I did make 6% on the account overall at one point. I think it was in February I made the 6%, but then I lost some of it, so it dipped back down. But between January and February, I did make 6% on the account. So I'm going to try and finish up this. I think this one, I have this session all the way up until October. So I might just trade all the way through October and see what my results are at the end of October. But April, I'm going to see if I can try and finish off April with 3 to 6%. I don't have that many days left in April though, so I will see. You do have to pay for FX Replay though, I will say. They have a subscription-based model. You can use it free, but they do time you out after a certain period of time on the day, which is not enough. But the subscriptions, I think the base model, the base subscription is like $15 to $17 a month. I think it's worth it, especially if you really put the time into it, then I think it's worth every possible cent. I've gained 2 years worth of trading experience in only 2 months. And you guys already see how I'm performing in the live markets. So I definitely think it's worth the investment. With that being said, that's everything I have to say about FX Replay. If you guys like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what else you guys want to see.